Hola a todos, bienvenidos a mi canal y estamos de vuelta en Metal Gear Solid 2. Lo dejamos por aquí con el comandante hablando. Y teníamos que ir para abajo porque teníamos 7 minutitos para ir a por el Metal Gear. Vamos a ir rapidito.
And it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states. They are all working on deploying their own Metal Gear force to compete with the US's nuclear strike capability. The world is about to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives.
Se escucha raro esto, ¿eh? Como si se escuchara doble o algo.
Not to mention interference from a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The enemy is sometimes closer to home than you think, gentlemen. Always bear that in mind.
Tan, tan, tan.
Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray. The shift in the balance of power will mean a new world order, and we, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military.
Vale. Estaba ahí en plan, oh Dios mío, ¿qué pollas tengo que hacer?
Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's.
Ya esquivaba el proyector de antes, creo que no. Uy. Ah, vale, te hacen eso para que te troleen. Nadie me trolea a mí.
But I promise you that they will not succeed. I have a daughter. And it is my greatest wish never to have her or her children experience the horror of nuclear.
La 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 la. Cómo cambia todo el mundo.
Forget about it.
Bien. Cuando se le cae el cargador, el guardia mira para abajo. Y si os ve, pues... jodidos. Chan 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 chan. Podía haber mirado por ahí por esa rendija. Ah, se ha parado el tiempo. Me alegro. Mola como se ve la forma del bicho aquí en el mapa. Y como más allá de esa zona negra no hay nada.
You're all familiar with the Shadow Moses incident during the Sears administration. The current state of nuclear proliferation is a direct result of that event.
Chan chan. Chan chan chan.
Metal Gear.
Rey. Ya lo he nombrado más de una vez, pero ahora os lo digo. Siempre que abro el WhatsApp, aunque no me esté hablando nadie, en el momento en que lo abra, tienen que hablar, ¿sabes? Coño. Hay tiempo de sobra. Quemado. Si hay tiempo de sobra, así que tampoco os estresáis mucho como yo. Coño.
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear.
A los bomberos.
So do a number of rogue states. I seem to be repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age.
Good.
Vale. Cuando dice good,
This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the
es que está bien.
Our Ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before. George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath.
Tío, este tío no ocupaba tanto sitio en el juego original, ¿eh?
Did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex and next generation nuclear warheads.
Vale, ahora una fotito desde aquí.
Good.
Perfecto. Vamos a ir agachaditos porque no hay prisa.
NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct,
Nadie me ve.
that there was a calculated intent to
Foto de frente.
Good.
¿Va todo bien?
military industrial complex.
Parece que sí.
Here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind.
Good.
Longer than expected.
Perfecto.
At ease. Rest a little.
Se ha parado el contador. Supongo que porque ya tengo todas las fotos.
What's going on? Snake! Snake!
Eso de what's going on, me lo estoy preguntando yo también. O sea, ¿por qué me han visto?
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater.
O sea, no tiene ningún sentido que me hayan visto.
Landing on any shoreline.
Pero ninguno, o sea... Nope.
Identifies targets with
Nope.
unerring accuracy. Takes them out with massive fire. It is the ultimate weapon. It is yours to guard.
Que estaba dando su discurso este tío y de pronto se ha parado. Ha parado el contador también y han empezado a mirar todos para todos lados. Y claro, pues me ha jodido.
Good.
So do a number of rogue states.
Tengo la foto, ¿puedo ir? Puedo ir hacia a lo guarrete.
Repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray after the
¿Puedo ir directamente por esto? Porque ya tengo las fotos, o sea... Chan chan. Chan chan. Bien.
So, any codec moments from you, Snake? The first one I'm seeing is... This is great! The Marines lettering
Vale.
shows up really well. The next one's... Okay, that's good. The shot from the right is in the bag. The next
Parece que me va a valer
is-
todo. Y me alegro.
Okay, this works. It's a great front view. The next image is... You're a pretty good photographer. We can definitely use this left shot.
Se lo podéis leer tranquilamente.
We,
Ok.
the Marines, will lead the charge into a new world order with metal.
Ya hemos terminado la parte de Snake, por cierto. Todo lo que queda es secuencia.
Excellent speech, my friend.
Who the?
Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good officer. And of a liar. Americans are too in love with the sound of their own voice to speak the truth.
Identify yourself.
Creo que todos sabemos quién es
I
ya.
am Shalashaska, also called Revolver Ocelot.
Pero ahora tiene el brazo. Chan chan. Oh, me voy a sacar unos cuantos trofeos. Por jugar por primera vez
What
ahora.
do you want?
This machine will be quite useful.
What are you planning to do? Steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back.
Me quiero callar siempre durante la secuencia, pero hay momentos de silencios incómodos.
Gerlukovich. Nobody move. Understood? This ship now carries enough Simtex on its key structural points to blow it out of the water at the touch of this button. That's right. No one has to die needlessly. We're almost at the target. Get a move on.
What do you intend to do with Ray? Sell it on the streets?
I was raised in Snezinsk, formerly known as Chelyabinsk 70, the nuclear research outpost.
What are you talking about?
After the Cold War ended, my home was bought out by the Americans.
Is there a point to this sad story?
Now you would understand. Land, friends, dignity, all sold to the highest bidder, the United States of America. Even the technology that gave birth to these weapons is Russian, developed by us.
What do you intend to do?
Russia will rise again. And Ray is the key.
I regret to inform you that I have no intention of selling Metal Gear. As I said, I came to take it back.
Se le va la pinza.
Yes, returned to the Patriots.
The Lale Lule Lo? How's that possible?
Ocelot, have you sold us out?
I was never in your employ, Gerlukovich.
Are you still in league with Solidus?
No hard feelings, Colonel. Mother Russia can rot for all I care.
Since when, Ocelot? When did you turn?
I'm glad you noticed, comrade. I abandoned her during the Cold War.
Ah!
Metal Gear only has room for one! Lukovich, you and your daughter will die here.
Damn you!
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitorous dog!
Yo sigo callado, ¿eh? Que hablen esta gente.
Show's over. If you wish to live, I suggest you run now. This ship is still in the lower New York harbor. You may yet make it to shore if you swim for your life.
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Not so young anymore, eh, Snake? You're drowning in time. I know what it's like, brother. No wonder Naomi passed you over for the Fox Die program.
Ouch!
Get out of my mind, Liquid!
Está muy loco, está muy loco.
The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man. Our raw materials are vintage, brother. Big Boss was in his late 50s when they created his copies. But I live on through this arm!
Liquid's on.
El barquito se ha ido a la mierda, ¿eh?
You're going down, Snake, with this tanker!
Bueno, los que hayáis jugado al Metal Gear Rising ya os sonará este bicho. Tiene unos colores distintos. Está mejor modelado. Tiene unas armas ligeramente distintas. Pero viene a ser lo mismo un Metal Gear Rey. Este vídeo probablemente no dure 45 minutos o algo así, porque tengo un poco de hambre. ¿Cómo destruyo la secuencia, hablando de mis cosas? Caso que necesito reponer energías. Después tengo que estudiar por la noche. Y tengo que relajarme un poco de jugar, porque si no me voy a acabar toda la saga en 2 días y ya está. Quiero alargarla un poquito. Así que en cuanto estemos con la parte de Raiden y nos dejen guardar, a eso iremos. Y se fue.
At the location we discussed. Yes, I have photographic evidence of Snake on the scene. The cipher was most useful. I look forward to tomorrow morning's news flash. I would say the Marine Corps' plans are on indefinite hold. Yes, of course, Mr. President.
Guardar. ¿Por qué no? Tengo una... Ah, bueno, sí, porque empecé a jugar yo por mi cuenta. Pero nada, jugué nada, ahí lo veis, 32 minutos. Y lo único que hice fue la batalla contra Olga. Vosotros leed. Mientras yo le echo un vistazo a la guía porque no me acuerdo muy bien de las cosas que había que hacer.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker 2 years ago?
Of course.
Terrorists blow a hole in an oil tanker full of crude barely 20 miles off the shore of Manhattan. Your classic nightmare. It didn't take long for the government to put an oil fence around the whole mess. And then that massive offshore cleanup facility went up inside.
The big shell. I hear the cleanup isn't quite over yet.
It takes time. But in the meantime, the shell's become a landmark, a symbol of environmental protection.
Calling teams Alpha and Bravo. Deploy at the big shell as scheduled.
Approximately 6 hours ago, the big shell was seized by an armed group.
Do we have an ID?
Former members of the Navy SEAL Special Anti-Terrorist Training Squad Dead Cell. Russian private army members may also be involved. It's a highly trained group and they have the big shell under complete control.
Come in from downwind and pull up fast. Get ready to fast rope down to Shell 1. 5 minutes to ETA. Also, your top priority is to rescue and safeguard the president. Team Bravo.
Vamos a derrapar con un helicóptero.
Get those C4s disarmed.
What are their demands?
$30 billion.
$30 billion. What makes them think they can get that much?
There was a government-sponsored tour going on at the big shell that day.
Hostages, huh?
A VIP from one of the major conservation groups, and one from our own government. The most important person in a sense.
The most important person?
James Johnson.
The president?
Unless the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the big shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst-case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history. You have 2 mission objectives. 1, infiltrate the offshore decontamination facility Big Shell and safeguard the president and other hostages. And 2, disarm the terrorists by any means necessary. You should know that SEAL Team 10 is also conducting a rescue operation.
Is this a joint effort?
No. Foxhound remains a covert body. Don't alert them to your presence. That is an order.
Esto me recuerda al principio del Metal Gear 1 porque también vas con... Metal Gear Solid 1 porque también vas con... así con un traje
How are things?
y una máscara extraña.
Looks like there are no sentries posted here.
What's the visibility?
The lights on the plant struts are functioning. I won't have to use the IR goggles.
Any problems?
There was a brand new hole cut through the oil fence. There's someone else besides me that wanted to get in badly.
That's not possible.
What about SEAL Team 10?
They landed on the roof of the Big Shell as planned. And by the way, Snake, we're changing your code name for all following communication.
What's wrong with Snake?
Just a precaution. You are now designated Raiden. All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR. I feel like some kind of legendary mercenary.
Okay, we'll skip that part. Make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to reach you, contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
All right. I'll contact you if anything changes.
First, make your way to the upper section of the big shell.
How do I get up to the next level?
There's an elevator at the far end of that area. Use that.
Sounds good.
Your new sneaking suit uses electrofiber technology, a byproduct of fiber optics research. The texture isn't far removed from rubber, but the material protects against a wide range of toxic substances. The suit itself has a wide array of built-in sensors. It is referred to as smart skin in military R&D. Data about damage to different regions of the body, including blood loss, is exchanged between the suit and the intravenous nanomachines to create a feedback system.
There's a lot of pressure on my torso.
Relax. The suit applies varying pressure to major internal organs to maximize performance and safeguard their functions. They call this the skull suit in Foxhound.
Skull suit seems appropriate somehow.
The hatch with a circular handle will open into the elevator area. Locate the hatch first.
Copy that. Moving on to main mission objectives.
Ok. Aquí tenemos a Raiden. Raiden, la gracia que tiene es que al dar puñetazos da 2 patadas, ¿veis? Ahí. Y que al girar hace esto, ¿veis? Está muy OP. Pero como digo, estoy un poco cansadete. Lo que pasa es que no sé si puedo guardar ya. No quería llamar aquí. Bueno, vamos a continuar. También podíamos hacer esto con Snake, pero no lo he hecho ninguna vez porque no ha sido necesario. Pero bueno, aquí lo necesitamos para coger la M9, que está ahí. Y ahora aquí abajo ¿en serio? ¿Tienes que llamar para explicarme los controles de nada?
Got your feet wet? These are the basic controls for swimming. Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster.
Change your heading with the left stick. Up will take you up, down takes you lower, left and right to face those directions.
The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
Ok. Vale, pues eso, por aquí por abajo. Aunque no las veo. Ajá, aquí. Están las gafas térmicas. Como ya lo hemos conseguido, pues eso. Coño. Hola. Que eche gotitas. Oh, hay una ración ahí. También hemos visto ahí que como que Raiden se ha tirado en plan super plancha al suelo. Bueno, eso también mola porque se han currado movimientos para los dos personajes. Y nos han dicho, venga, vamos a dejar el mismo para los dos. Yupi. Para esquivar misiles y tal, la mierda esta de Raiden de saltar va súper bien. Vale. Aquí nada, ¿no? No. Aquí hay balas de la M9. Raiden también es más jovencito que Snake. No hace falta que me digas los mismos controles 20 veces. Son los mismos para Snake que para Raiden.
Colonel, I've sighted an enemy sentry. AN-94 and a Makarov. Those grenades, all his equipment, is Russian-made.
Must be a Golukovich man.
Berlukovich?
A Russian private army that was in line to work with the Shadow Moses takeover group 4 years ago.
What's their stake in this one?
They must have made a deal, an arrangement with the terrorists. They become a band of mercenaries, an army without a country.
No sé si lo han dicho, pero me parece que pasaron 2 años desde el incidente del tanker, o sea, desde el episodio este del principio con Snake, hasta ahora. Oh.
Colonel, there's definitely another intruder in here besides me.
That's not a possibility.
Not a team. Looks like a solo job.
One man.
We may not know who he is, but he managed to take care of every sentry in the area. They're all out cold. Whoever he is, he's got some skills.
We need to get an ID. But for now, you can take advantage of the situation and get to work. There's a terminal in front of the elevator. A node.
Did you say nerd?
Not nerd. Node.
Oh.
Use the node to gain access to the Big Shell's facilities network.
Then what?
Pull up the map of the structure. That'll let you activate the Soliton radar.
The Soliton radar? True. That radar came in useful during VR training.
A radar system uses biological magnetic fields as input. These estimated enemy positions are projected onto a map according to reference points collected via GPS signals and field personnel reports. We need to get to the map through the Big Shell's node to put this data processing to practical use. The node unit is about 3 feet high, should be colored blue. Each area has at least one.
How do I gain access?
Just push the action button in front of the node. The nanomachines in your body will take care of the security clearance and allow you access to the node. Complete the procedure before those sentries gain consciousness. If they spot you, you won't be able to gain access for a while. Stay on guard.
Got it.
Básicamente en este juego, si entramos a una área nueva, no tendremos mapa. Lo que tendremos que interactuar con el nodo. Raiden tiene menos vida que Snake, o es mi impresión. Bueno, tenemos que interactuar con el nodo para que... Ñeque. Para que se nos desbloquee el mapa, vaya.
Raiden, you won't be able to use any of the enemy's equipment.
Why not?
You should know that all active weapons are equipped with a personal identification system. The owner enters their required user ID information during the weapon registration or at the start of a mission. If anyone other than the registered user tries to fire the weapon, the ID system will not authorize the action.
But these are black market Russian weapons. How can they be equipped with identification functionality?
They must have been customized by the terrorists themselves. These are professionals we're dealing with, and they certainly won't let their own equipment be used against them.
I'm guessing it's the same for the Navy SEALs gear?
Right.
How am I supposed to procure weapons then?
Find the ones that haven't yet been individualized. Everything you find in the item box is clean. You should know this from your VR training.
Okay, I know those.
Items in the item box are yours to use at will. They will be your supply source with regards to weaponry and gear.
Ok. Esta gente, si no la dormís, ahora cuando usemos el nodo, se despertarán y darán por culete. Bien. Siempre me pongo el mismo nombre. Vale. Birthday. 27. Ah, no, que esto es el mes. Ahí está. El año no importa, ¿no? Ok. Esto es lo que no me gusta. Es que cada vez que abres un nodo, se te abre el menú de opciones. No entiendo por qué, pero bueno.
The radar should be functioning now.
Remember your VR training sessions. The tool is exactly the same one. It maps the terrain as well as the position of enemy personnel. The bright dot in the middle is you, Raiden. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it. It gets jammed easily, I'm afraid. It's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful. The Big Shell's layout map should now be available after touching the Start button.
How do I save the mission data?
Ajá, ahora me
I've
voy a
set
guardar,
aside
gracias.
proprietary frequency for saves, and an analyst to work on the data too.
Jack, is everything all right?
What are you doing here?
Jack, can you hear me?
Rose, you're not supposed to be involved. What's going on?
Jack, I'm a part of this mission.
Colonel, what the hell is going on?
Raiden, meet the mission analyst. She'll be overseeing the data saving and support.
Why her?
The Foxhound analyst that was supposed to take part in this mission was in an accident. Rosemary was brought in as a replacement.
An accident?
And according to the files, she knows you better than anybody else.
Rose may be in the service, but an intelligence analyst is no field officer.
Not to worry. She has our technical staff at her disposal.
She's never been a part of a field mission. This is insane.
I have my own reasons for selecting her for this mission, soldier.
Colonel, I fail to see...
I know your VR training performance in and out, but sometimes that's not enough. You're familiar with the Shadow Moses incident?
You know I covered it in VR.
If there's a crucial tactical detail that case taught us, it was the power of the operative's will to survive.
I was trained to fight. My personal feelings have no place in a mission.
We've learned that it doesn't work that way. And on the field, you need all the help you can get.
Jack, you're stuck with me whether you like it or not.
Rose.
You need someone to watch your back. But I have conditions that need to be met, Colonel.
What is it?
I'll perform my duties and save that mission data, but I'm aware that technically I'm not part of the mission control team. After all, I'm just a normal girl who's worried about Jack. But that means, Colonel, that I am not required to follow your orders outside of my immediate duties. Jack is not simply a field personnel for me to track. His safety comes first to me, not the mission. And because of that, I will be monitoring and keeping a record of every communication you have with him, Colonel.
Given the circumstances, you're free to do what you see fit.
Hey, I prefer this to being kept in the dark waiting.
I'd like to make a request, if I may.
Of course.
His handle is Raiden. For the duration of the mission, could you call him that?
Yes, sir. All right, Raiden. Let me know when you're ready to turn in a save. The proprietary save frequency is 140.96. I just switched frequencies. Jack?
What?
Do you know what day it is tomorrow?
April 30th. Is there something special about it?
Isn't there?
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Oh well. I'll keep trying till I hear the answer. I'm gonna let you go now, Jack. Take care.
Vale, y como ya nos dejan guardar, vamos a dejarlo por aquí. No.
Raiden, the enemy sentry is regaining consciousness.
Be careful, Jack.
Find somewhere to hide until the elevator arrives. You must stay out of sight.
Ok, bueno, vamos a dejarlo por aquí. Espero que os haya gustado el vídeo y hasta la próxima. Adiós.